Here some data is given and here the corresponding graph is given. If I ask you which is the easiest way to analyze this, year and maximum temperature are given here, and year and maximum temperature that is recorded at some area is given here. So by looking it, this graph analyzation is more easier than this data analyzation. So for any data, a graph can be represented and that can be easily analyzed. If I ask you which is the maximum temperature and in what year that was recorded. So from this graph you can say that it is 51 degrees centigrade, and in which year it was recorded? It is recorded in 2015. And if I ask you the same question to look from the data given, so you need to look all the values of maximum temperature and you need to find 51 degrees centigrade, and from that you will find the year 2015. But by looking at the graph you can directly say that the year is 2015 and the temperature is 51 degrees centigrade. Similarly, if there is any pipe, and I need to find where is the maximum pressure or where is the maximum velocity that is attained, and at this section what is the pressure, and at this section what is the velocity, at this section what is the pressure and what is the velocity. If I need to find that, so the graphical representation helps us find out the values quickly. So and in fluid dynamics and fluid mechanics we call it as hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. So this hydraulic gradient line, sometimes it is also called as hydraulic grade line. So hydraulic gradient line, the line joining pressure heads along the pipe. So this let me say this is the pipe and fluid is flowing in this direction. If I keep the piezometer here and another piezometer here and another piezometer here, so here the pressure will be more. This is the piezometric height, and here the velocity increases as the cross section area is decreasing. So here the pressure will be less. And what about this section, this third section? The pressure will increase. Since the velocity decreases, the pressure will be increasing. So the hydraulic gradient line will be in this way. The line joining pressure heads at all the sections along the pipe, that is called as hydraulic gradient line. Then what about total energy line? If I connect a pitot tube indicates the hydraulic static pressure plus velocity head. So the liquid rises up to this point, and here up to this point, and here up to this point. If you look here, so this is the total energy line, the line joining total head. What is total head? Total head means P by W plus V square by 2G plus Z, that is called as total head. I am considering, for suppose this is Z, so this is called as total head. And line joining total heads at every section of the pipe, that is called as total energy line or energy gradient line. So I am representing this with HGL and this energy gradient line with EGL. Sometimes this hydraulic gradient line is also called as pressure line, and sometimes it is called as piezometric line. It is called as pressure line when only P by W is considered. If P by W plus Z that is considered, then it is called as piezometric line. Pressure line if only P by W is considered. And the P by W plus V square by 2G plus Z is considered, that is called as total energy line or energy gradient line. So let us see for ideal flow. For ideal flow there is no friction. For that, what is hydraulic gradient line and how energy gradient line is represented. So energy, first let us see hydraulic gradient line. Hydraulic gradient line is joining of all the pressure heads. So here the piezometer measures the pressure head. So up to here there is the liquid is raised. So here the pressure is up to here, and if I put another piezometer here, this raises only up to this point. That is because the velocity increases as the cross section area decreases, so P by W plus V square by 2G is equal to constant. Since Z is equal, I am neglecting it. So P by W plus V square by 2G. Velocity increases as cross section area decreases. To maintain energy constant, the pressure should decrease. So up to here only the liquid rises. And if I attach pitot tube, so if I attach pitot tube, up to where it rises? Up to here it rises. So that is V square by 2G. So here V square by 2G is this much only, and here V square by 2G is this much, because the velocity has increased and pressure has decreased, and the energy gradient line is straight only. And when here, this is the piezometer, again the velocity decreases and the pressure increases. So the liquid rises above this level. Above this level the liquid rises in the piezometer. If I place pitot tube, liquid rises up to this level. So that is energy gradient line. So joining all these points gives us energy gradient line. Joining all these points gives us hydraulic gradient line. This is for ideal flow. Then what is for real flow? For real flows, let me zoom in a bit. So what is for real flows? Here, this one is a free surface. Atmospheric pressure is acting on this, and this is the atmospheric pressure head. As I move in this direction, the fluid is flowing in this direction. So approaching here at this point the pressure head will be up to here. This is because the velocity has been increased. Here the fluid is flowing and there is a velocity. Here there is no fluid flowing or negligible this surface decrease. So we are not considering any velocity in this direction. So velocity will be there at this point in this direction, and the pressure head decreases and velocity head increases. So here up to this it is the pressure head. If it was ideal flow, the energy gradient line would be in this way, this straight line. But due to the friction, the energy gradient line, this velocity head also decreases up to this point. So there is a inclined line. And as I go forward, here the pressure head decreases. Instead of having a straight line like this, it is decreasing. That is because due to the friction there is a head loss, so that will be decreasing. And what about this velocity head? So if we consider total head, the velocity also remains constant, but p by w plus v square by 2g, this remains constant, but there is also pressure head. As the pressure head decreases, this total head also decreases up to this point. So the energy gradient line will be in this way. And next, as this cross section area is increasing, velocity head decreasing and pressure head should increase. To maintain total energy constant, this should increase. And again, this total energy line. So there is decline of total energy line. And if I plot all the values along the pipe, that will be in this way. And you need to remember that at the end of this pipe, this is the end of the pipe, and there is atmospheric pressure acting, and the pressure will be atmospheric pressure of the fluid, so that the this hydraulic gradient line coincides with the surface of the fluid, and this total energy line is v square by 2g above the hydraulic gradient line. So that this is what hydraulic and energy gradient line are. And so how are this hydraulic gradient line and total energy line are useful? So I am drawing a hydraulic gradient line and total energy line here. So this is along the pipe, and these are the hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. This is hydraulic gradient line, this is total energy line, or you can say energy gradient line. So from this you can say that the energy is given to this fluid at this point, and the energy is received from the fluid at this point. That is because total energy has been increased and total energy has been decreased here. Here it is increased. That means there is a pipe, and some machine is present here, another machine is present here. So the energy is supplied. That means in pump the energy will be supplied, in turbine the energy will be absorbed from the fluid. So from this we can observe that where is pump placed and where is turbine placed, and we can simply if there are many connections and many instruments, so we can represent total energy line at this point as increasing and remains constant and decreases. Or if the friction effects are considered, then total energy decreases. And here for example, if the turbine is placed here, the total energy line suddenly drops, and due to friction it drops here. And if I place it here pump again, energy is supplied, so energy increases suddenly. So that's how we use a total energy line and hydraulic gradient line. This hydraulic gradient line and total energy line, these are used in siphon. So we will see about that in the next video.